The video we about to review here is something I'm glad that came up, because this is something that we talk about a lot that happens in the community, and no one really wants to address this. See, the conversation is about, you brothers getting your passports and becoming passport kings, getting out of here and not dealing with the offspring of the fella that we about to review here. Let's check it out. The caption alone, before I even play it, is enough to be said, but let's hear what he has to say.
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live telling my story, speaking my truth, and a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B.
Stop right there. So let's do the math here. 1 man, 7 children, 7 different women. He says that there were more than those 7 women, but they chose to go the route of deleting a baby because they chose to be not responsible. I'm so glad that the government in this country is starting to crack down on that it will not give that an out. Because let me tell you something. Do you know what the numbers are? Less than 1% of the baby deletions in America are by a woman being violated or incest. Do you know that? The rest is convenience for people like him. I'm so glad they're clamping down on that. I'm so glad they stopping all the pills. Stop it all. Because at one point in time, when they didn't have that option, people thought a little bit different. Said, wait a minute, let me be a little bit more responsible. Now, not only him, but those 7 women also. They laid down with this man. No protection, no nothing. Don't know this man from a can of paint. Don't know that this man has a STI. He don't know if they have it. And you wonder why all the STIs is being passed around in the community. You wonder why. Laying down with this guy. It's the most dangerous thing ever. But let's continue because he got more to say.
But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want.
And you should be responsible for the children that you made, sir. You should. It don't matter what you know what you have to do to stop yourself from having children. You know what to do. You go to the store and go buy you a box of condoms, and that's what you go do. So since you made the kids, you need to take care of it. Fellas, do you know why the child support laws are so crazy? It's because of people like him. He makes 7 kids, not taking care of none of them, and then they go to welfare, then they go to food stamp with his children. And the state say, well, who made these kids? Him. So they say, oh no, we got to put some more laws on the books. This is what these guys are doing. He should be very responsible for raising his kids. But see, what happens in this community is that they'll take his kids and put it on you brothers. That's what they'll do. And then they'll play these games of saying that you a real man for taking care of his kids that he clearly said he did not want, and they didn't matter to them. But let's continue.
So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied, because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with.
Now, he actually dropped a couple of jewels there, believe it or not. He's right. women should be more careful who they sleep with, because he's right. They're going to carry that baby for 9 months. They can have complications. They can even pass away at childbirth. And you want to give your womb, something that's sacred that God given you to create life, to a piece of crap like this. This is who you gave your womb to. I said this before, and I'll say it again. You can eliminate a lot of these problems if you would say, you know what? This man need to give me his last name before I give my womb to him. If you practice that and say, that's what I'm going to do, you can prevent guys like that. Why would you even lay down with a guy like that? And raw. I don't understand that. And you wonder why the STIs are so high. You wonder why. Now, this guy say he's not going to take care of those kids. And they got guys that owe $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in back child support. They don't care. Now, see, these guys right here is not going to be your passport king. That's not going to be him. He can't afford this. He can't. You know why? Because he can't get a passport. So this is the guy that you give your womb to. I'm talking about these 7 women and women like them. You give your womb to this guy. But the guy that's actually a decent guy, let's say the Michael B. Jordan type of guys, you know, the ones that's called corny, those guys, you'll put them through hoops to even go on a date with you. But this guy here can lay down with you the first day he meets you and won't take care of your kids. The Michael B. Jordan type dudes, they'll take care of their kids. They'll marry you. They'll create a family with you. But that's not the guys a lot of you want. I'm not talking about the Michael B. Jordan when he make it. I'm talking about in the beginning when he was that corny kid in school, right? But now when he gets to the finish line and he becomes something, now here you come talking about, hey man, no. But let's continue.
You're gonna be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like,
see, this guy said he did nothing, the bare minimum, and he got to lay down with these women. He did nothing. He can be dusty as all dusty, the king of dust, and he still got to lay down with them and make children. At least if you're going to practice your whoredom, can you at least make them wrap it up, protect your health, not have a child with some dude you just laid down with? See, this is why we need to bring back shame to America. Because see, at one point in time, I remember, see, the thing about my generation, Gen X, I'm going to tell you this much. We got to see the transition from when things were halfway decent, where we had a little shame in the black community. Because I remember growing up, if you knew this female would just lay down with you off the first rip, you didn't want nothing to do with her, and she would be labeled a 304, and she would have some shame put upon her. Even Tupac said you didn't want it if it was that easy, because Tupac came up in that time period, right? Now you go from what Tupac said, I don't want it if it's that easy, and that's one of the most wisest thing to be as a man, because listen, the most precious thing a woman could give you is her body, and she willing to give you that without even knowing you. To me, it sounds like you ain't got much to give. That's why you giving that. And I don't want something that you giving your whole body to a man, don't know him, don't know anything. Well, how many more you gave it to? How many more deposits of men that's in you running around because that's all you got to give is that? But being in my generation, we got to see at least some normalcy. You know, we had the Cosby Show generation, different world. You know, I remember even growing up seeing the old school stuff like Sanford and Son and the Jeffersons, all shows like that. You know, we still got to see some 2-parent households. Yes, we saw the crack epidemic come in and all that, which that did hurt the community. But we're seeing at least some halfway normalcy, transition all the way up to what we see today. And we had to adapt the best way we could, at least in my generation. Now, millennials, Gen Z, y'all really didn't get no normalcy. Maybe the older millennials maybe get to see just a taste of it, but the Gen Zs didn't see any of it whatsoever. And I'm telling you, if this dude would have been back in, 80s, 90s, somebody would have had to come see him about some things, because he's just out here, just doing the most. And I'm not saying they ain't had dudes making a bunch of kids back then either, because they did. But it's not something that you would even broadcast. But let's continue.
I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability.
You are deadbeat. You're a deadbeat, and she's a deadbeat too. See, you lucky. See, men like you, if I was an attorney, listen, I'm all about defending men if I was an attorney. But if a woman came to me and say, look, I got a child, he never took care of his child, he never did this, he never did that, I would be salivating like a dog over some meat to go after you. You know why? Because it's guys like him that has ruined family law. He's the reason. And many men like him, because he isn't the only one. We're just using him as an example. He's the reason why the child support laws are the way they are. He's the reason why even the marriage laws and everything else is the way they are. Men like him. And they're not going to make just a law for certain people. They're going to make a blanket law, right? And this is why a lot of men today don't even want to have children, not because they don't want them, not that they don't want family, etc. It's because it's you get destroyed in family law court. And men like him is the cause.
Yeah, I do. I just don't give a. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this shit and be like, black man this, black man that, I don't give a. I really don't.
And we know you don't. We know you don't. We know you don't. We know you don't. And the women didn't care either. You know what I'm saying? Because they cared for themselves, they wouldn't lay down with the likes of you. But see, this is the thing. No, they're not going to force no kids on you, but what they're going to try to do is force kids on other brothers who was getting their books, who got their education, who started their business, who are not there making no children, have no children with nobody. That's what they'll do. They'll try to force those kids on him and tell him that it's a good thing, that's what you're doing. Or the militant simps will come out and say, oh yeah, y'all should be taking up the children of other men. When the fathers of this, if you brothers keep on taking up the children of this guy, you will never stop the cycle. It needs to be consequences for having children with that guy. And the consequence need to be, oh, you have a child with that guy? No. Go on, find him. No, I'm going to start my own family and raise my children. That's what I'm going to do. And if enough of you brothers stay on that and don't be a little simp about anything, it will teach the ladies, don't procreate with a guy like that. I need to save myself with my womb for the marriage that I want to have. Because as long as you guys keep coming in here playing this game, oh, well, we can't have the children out there like that, brother. It's not the kid's fault. No, it's not the kid's fault. It's his fault and they mammy's fault. That's whose fault it is. It's not your responsibility to save them, because they don't appreciate crap. You save them and they still disrespect you every single day. They still dishonor you. They still talk crap about you in the media. They don't come to your defense as they should. Any little thing you say, they ready to pounce on you, but you the guys that go get the children to raise their children they have with him. And he gets off scot-free. He don't pay anything. And no, you got to stop the cycle. But let me know what y'all think about this particular guy, because he's the archetype of what's one of the main problems in the black community.